Hi everyone, I hope it is working the way it is supposed to. I am live right now. Let me quickly share it on Instagram as well so people can hopefully join. I'm always really bad at these things. Like, I try, but it's super hard for me to be like, I'm live, come join me. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And today I'm gonna do a Q&A video, but because I know that sometimes it can take a little bit before I get questions, um, I will be doing a tag as well. So I will be going onto my phone and finding a tag that could be interesting for you guys, since ever since I did my last Q&As or like tag videos, I've gotten a lot more subscribers. So I think that not everyone knows me as well as some of my older ones do. So the people who have been around since forever and ever. And also, I am in my living room for once and not in my desk. Hi, Josie. Hello. Welcome to my live stream. So as you guys can see, I am in the couch in the living room with my cozy, fluffy blanket. If you hear any noises, lucky my cat is somewhere, as she usually is. She's been trying to get behind the curtains. Normally, that's not an issue because one of the two curtains is open most of the time. But now I've closed them both, not to get too much light from outside in, and she's constantly like going between the two curtains. So yeah, I just searched a tag that I could do. It is 50 random get to know me questions, and I'm gonna be answering those in this live stream. Unless you guys, of course, have any questions for me, then I will be answering those for sure. Um, Maybe I'll start with the tag, so the 50 questions of the tag, and I'll kind of go quickly through those. And then if you guys have any other questions, I could answer those afterwards. Or if something really cool pops up, if I see a super cool question or something, I could ask it. I could answer it in between. And if my cat decides to join us, that would be awesome. For now, she's over there behind the curtains. And Jaylin, hi Jaylin, it's been a while, girl. I miss your videos. It's always something that I say to YouTubers that I used to watch a lot, and then suddenly there's nothing anymore. And I just, yeah, I really liked her content. And like the little cameo that she made of me was super cute. Anyhow, let's get started with these questions. Otherwise, we're gonna be here like tomorrow still. First question, please tell us when you were born. So I am born on April 15th, 1992. And I was born in Turnhout, which is a city in Flanders here in Belgium. Apparently, I was not the fastest to get born. I think my mom went in somewhere in the afternoon, and I was born like only the next day. So I think she went in the 14th, and I was born the 15th. I think I'm born at 2, either 2 at night or 2 in the afternoon. I'm not sure. I should ask my dad because he has like my birth book, which is something that people do here in Belgium. It is when their kid gets born, they have this birth book in which they note like all sorts of weird things about their kid that gets born with pictures, etc. I personally have never looked at that stupid book because nah, I'm not just into myself as a kid. Evil Clown Man has also joined. Hi and welcome. I am answering 50 tag questions. And after that, if you guys have any questions for me, I will be answering those. Or if you have any urgent questions, you can, of course, ask them already during the video. And hello, Reese Rabbit. Welcome to my live stream. I'm sitting in my couch in my living room. This is a setup that people usually don't see because usually my partner is either gaming here or there's music on, or I just prefer filming in my filming room, my desk area. But yeah, today I am home alone with the cat, and yeah, I decided I wanted to sit here because I was watching Face Off. Jalen is saying, don't worry, I'm still animating. Awesome, first of all. My video is about almost done. It's been crazy with college plus part-time job, but this month there will definitely be a new video. Awesome. I get that. I get how life can get crazy at times. I did struggle during the month of October getting all of the Halloween videos done. So at the end, I had a week off of work. So the entire week that I was off of work, I just filmed and edited videos to get everything up for Halloween. And then yesterday, I filmed the October music favorites and new releases. And then tonight and tomorrow and Sunday, I'm going to be working on a few videos for my channel for the upcoming weeks, because I have this really fancy camera and I don't know how to work with it. So I've been looking up lots of tutorials on how to set my white balance better, on how to figure out my camera better, because I'm always shooting on auto mode, which isn't bad, which is perfectly fine. But I want to discover more about how it works and how I can work with it. Because for pictures, I know what to do, but for filming, it is totally different. So I actually ordered a what they call gray card, which is meant to set your white balance on your camera. And this is especially good if you're working with film and if you want to have the white balance good in your recordings. Right now, I'm sitting in the couch with my laptop, which is not the best quality, but whatever. And I have one of my soft boxes right there behind you guys because it was so dark in here. So yeah, just random things as a YouTuber. Let's get on with these questions before I just ramble on about my life all the time, which is not why you guys are here, I think. The second question is, are you named after someone? If yes, after who? No, I was not named after someone specific, but my mom did like the name Kathy, the way it is written in French, and that is why my name is Kathy, the way it is written in French, and not the way that it's usually written here in Belgium, which is super funny when you have to like get coffee and they write your name on it. It's always written badly. Even if I say it, it's with a Cathy. Then even then they have mistakes in my name. So I'm not really named after someone, but it is like a specific writing of a certain name. And Kathy is short for Catherine, but my mom didn't like Catherine and she just wanted Kathy to be my name. So that's how I got my name. I should ask my mom, like, did you know a specific Kathy or something? I'm not sure. I don't know. I should ask her next time I see her. Um, Next question. What's your full name and are you proud of it? So now this is getting really personal. So if anyone, like my full name is Kathy Ivo Maria Janssens. And this is just how I say it in Dutch. So Kathy Ivo Maria. So Maria like the mom from Jesus. And then my last name is Janssens. It's a very common name here in Belgium. Shit, I forgot to plug in the battery. Okay, so now you're all gonna see that I wear these awesome Star Wars pants, which are awesome, and I forgot to take my charger. Be right back. There, that should be better. Back to the couch. Hi, Amy. And yes, I am a ghost plugging in her computer because I forgot to put in the charger, which is totally my mistake. So hi, I would do nothing, and hi, Amy again. Um, Welcome to my live stream. So I was just talking about my full name. So my last name is Janssens, and here in Belgium, it is the first or the second most common family name, like last name. The other one that is really big here in Belgium is Peters, so Janssens and Peters, and it's constantly like at one moment Janssens has more people with that last name, at the other time it's Peters. It really depends on when you check. But I do have a rather big family, both on my mom and my dad's side of the family. But I'm not sure if on my side of the family it's gonna continue much more because I don't plan on having any kids, and neither does my brother. So I'm not sure if Jensen's is gonna flow on a lot after us. I don't think so. Just see that my pillows are not nicely. Look. I'm not sure who asked me recently, but I did DIY two pillows that were in my couch, but these two are just like store-bought pillows, so they have bugs on them, and these are bugs that are going to be on my body one day. One day in the future, not sure when. I have so many tattoo ideas that I still have to do. And Amy really likes the photo collage in the back. Yes, it's me and my boyfriend mostly, and just random pictures of us. I think the oldest picture is not in view, but this one is rather old. You can see I don't even have my fringe, and my boyfriend still had black hair. Um, I think the most recent one, I'm not sure. It's just a bunch of random pictures of us. And this is our CDs. So these two are all my boyfriends. This one is mine. And then that's the fourth one is all DVDs. And then in the closet that you can see, it's all my shit. So I have more CDs up here. These are actually all of the electronic music CDs that I own, which I use to DJ. So I can find them more easily. The CDs that are in here are mostly metal music. And then some random shit, board games, etc. But yeah, this is my living room. I never plan on doing a house tour, by the way. If someone wants to ask, no, I'm not going to do a house tour. It's not something that I feel is necessary. My house is filled with cat toys. Like we have two big cat trees. I think it's called like that in English. Cat trees. I have one over there that is like the old one that she used to have, well, that she trashed and that she doesn't really use anymore. And then over there in the corner is the other big one. Let me see if I can turn you. So that's the big one. If you look at the top, that's my kitty sleeping or pretending she's sleeping. Rakicha. Yeah, no, she's tired. I played with her before I started the live stream. But yeah, over there is the big cat tree that Lucky sleeps in. And she might come onto the couch. I'm never sure with her what she's gonna do. Some of my live streams, she just sleeps the entire time, and sometimes she just starts making noise. Um, Amy says, I want the beetle pillows. I'm scared of them in real life, though. Yeah, the beetle pillows are awesome. They sold them at like, um, if you ask me where I live and I see the city, then people from Belgium always have the reaction, oh, that's where Weba is at. And Weba is kind of like IKEA, but not IKEA. It's like a store that sells everything for the house. So furniture, cushions, pillows, anything for the house. They even have like pans and cutting boards and fake trees and stuff, lots of stuff. And that's actually where they came from. And I first saw one of them and I thought it was like the last one. And then afterwards I saw another one, and yeah, that's how I got these two. I wish they had more, but they don't. And I'm gonna quickly block someone. Bye bye. Okay. Thank you very much. It's so easy that you can like mute and hide people. I don't like too pushy people. Anyhow, let's see. Um, Welcome to the new people who have joined. In the meantime, I'm not really answering these questions, am I? I'm gonna continue in a minute. Elena says the Nutcracker Four Realms movie came out. I need to take my grandmother. Yeah, I saw ads of it on YouTube. I must say I'm not a big fan of like fantasy Disney films. Like the Happy Bright ones are not too much my thing. Maleficent was amazing, and I'm not sure if Nutcracker would be something for me. It did look beautiful, but I first want to wait a little bit more until other people have seen it that I trust with their opinion before I go see it myself. And thank you, Jalen. I just kind of blocked him or muted him or whatever. I think I deleted all of his messages. And no, indeed, no one likes spammers, especially not on here. So let's see if I can continue these questions. It's 15 minutes and I've answered 3 questions, I think. The next one. Where are you from and are you proud of it? I come from Turnhout, which is a small village here in Belgium, and I'm not specifically proud or not proud of it. I was born there, and that's it. I went to school there. Um, that's it, basically. I don't really have a big connection to Turnhout. I do have to the people who live there, but not to the actual place. There's nothing really that gives me good memories. The only thing that I had good memories about was the farm place. Um, that my grandparents had. It wasn't really a farm. It was more like, I'm not sure how you say this in English. So if anyone can help me, it's like very big open space, and then they had it divided into compartments, one with horses, one with chickens, and then another one that grow vegetables on, and then they switched it every year. So it was a rotating system. My grandparents on my dad's side were farmers, and that's completely fine. They actually taught me a lot about plants, about nature. It's also the reason that I have like a herb garden outside onto the terrace. So I grow basil, I grow mint. There's two others I forget the names of. I grow my own like herbs and thingies, and for me it's really easy. It's something I've always done. So yeah. Doug Christoval, the way you speak English makes me want to laugh. That's great for you. English is my third language, so if you can speak three languages as fluently as me, thumbs up for you. Um, Amy says, Kathy, give me your address. Never mind, I already know it. Yes, you know it. If you come here, you're more than welcome. Fun fact, most people that come here actually sleep onto this couch because it is huge. Um, it's a me and my boyfriend sized couch, and we're both about 1 meter and 84, 85 centimeters tall, so it's pretty tall for normal people. So yeah, our couch is tall people size. So I fit entirely twice into this couch, once in that direction and then also in the other direction. So we can both sleep in here if we need to. And most of the time when we have guests over that sleep over, they will sleep into the couch. Now we also have like these foldable beds, etc. But people most of the time prefer the couch. It's a really comfy one too. Doug Christoval, we don't understand meters and centimeters. We measure height in feet and inches. I don't. And that's fine. You can use an online converter to check how tall I am. It's 184 meters. So 184. I think it's about 6 feet, somewhere around that. But like, I don't get it. How the hell do you measure in feet? Like, not every single foot is the same. So that's my reasoning. Like, if you measure in feet, it's like the foot, but in multiples. But I just find your metric system very funny because it's it it doesn't make sense to me. Every time that I look up recipes and I get to the measurements in cups, I'm like, and what if I use a big cup? What if I use a small cup? Like, how? Yeah, just use an online converter, as Amy says. I'm not gonna continue on this tantrum. Okay, next one. Do you love playing any sports or just watching it? I used to love sports. I used to be very sporty, but I have knee problems. I actually grew very fast. I was always like the very skinny, tall kid. And because of that, my knees were very brittle and I wasn't really able to do lots of sports. Also, I was more invested in music. So my parents made my brother and me choose between either sports or either music because you have to go like twice a week to the practices, etc. So I choose music over sports, and also because of medical reasons. The sports that I've played the longest, I think, was volleyball. I think or badminton. I really like badminton. It's one of the sports that if I get a chance to play it, I really love it. Jossie says, "Oh my God, you're as tall as my husband. I'm only 164." If you've seen my videos with Cindy Cahole, the styling videos, I think she's about as tall as you are. So it's really funny seeing her size next to my size. But like, I'm a giant, a gentle giant, but still, I'm very tall, especially for a woman. But it doesn't bother me. I'm used to it. I've always been tall. So. And Doug Crystal, as per Google, you're 6 feet and 0.25 inches tall. There we go. Thank you, Doug. Next one. Which one is better, basketball or baseball? Since we don't really have baseball around here, I think I'm gonna go for basketball. Then we have a question that I have no answer to. It is, who is your favorite person in modern history? I don't know. Next one. Who is your favorite writer in modern history? Again, I have no clue. I did not research my answers beforehand. Sometimes I do. Like if it's a lot of questions that have like really detailed things that they ask, then I will try and kind of look things up. But right now, I'm just answering the ones I can. Doug also asks, do you celebrate Halloween in your country? Not really. In Belgium, Halloween is not a big thing at all. You can find Halloween things at some stores, but not at most. And on Halloween itself, I think there were like 2 parties in the entire country that I would have maybe attended, but all of them were pretty far. Plus, it was a working day, so I had to work during the day that Halloween is, but not the day after. But I was just too tired to go anywhere. Especially because if we have to go somewhere, I have to drive there and drive back. The drive there is not as bad, but the drive back is always what makes me really, really tired. Um, Amy says I'm 1.7 meters. That's why I wear platforms all the time. I used to be 1.74 meters when I was 15. And the people from the medical exam thing that we had in school told me, yeah, you're not going to grow anymore. You're going to stay at this height. And I was super happy with it. I was even doing modeling work at the time. And then I kept growing. So when I saw them back the next year, they were like, you've grown. I was like, I know. So I kept growing until I was like 18. And it's basically the length I've been at ever since. I think I haven't measured myself in a very long time. But yeah, I'm tall and I love being tall. Dark Crystal also asks, do you celebrate Thanksgiving there? Nope, we don't. Thanksgiving is not something we do here. We do celebrate Christmas though. And that's a really big thing here in Belgium. You can already find everything Christmas related over here. And yeah. Fancy Garcia asks, what fall holidays do you guys typically celebrate? Here in Belgium, there aren't any typical fall holidays. There's not really anything here. The only thing we have is what we call krokusvakantie, which is like the autumn holiday. So kids are off school 1 week. And it was actually last week. So not the week following, but the week before this weekend. Not sure why it is that week because there's no real holiday in it. Not that is celebrated here in Belgium. Like if it would have been Halloween related, then I would understand. The 1st of November and the 2nd of November are Allerheiligen and Allerzielen, which is All Saints, I think, if we translate that. So it's basically celebrating the dead. So the 1st of November is for like special deaths, and the 2nd of November is for regular people. So the 1st of November is like kind of a more spiritual, holy holiday, and the 2nd of November, which isn't actually a day off here in Belgium, is more for like your family that has died. Unfortunately, all my family that isn't around anymore is buried in Turnhout or around it, which is a 2-hour drive from here. So I don't typically go there on this day. It's just not something that I'm used to doing. We used to when I still lived with my parents, but now that I live here, I don't anymore. I would do nothing asks, do you wear heels though? Footwear that makes you taller? Yes, of course I do. I love tall heels and I love platform boots. I will always wear them. The only thing that I have to kind of take into account is that I don't hit the door frames. I used to have the Demonia stacks, which are like a double platform. So it's basically one platform stacked onto the other, where the name comes from. And when I had those, I really had to like dip under the door frames, which was terrible. I went out with them, and getting into the party and out was really like a thing to do because it had like steps, and with platforms taking stairs is already like terrible, but back there I had to like crouch to get inside, and then when I was going outside and then taking, yeah, it was fun. I loved those shoes, but I sold them afterwards. So yeah. Dark Crystal is also asking, have you purchased a Christmas tree? No, and we're not going to because of the cats. Christmas trees, well, the pine thingies are toxic to cats, so we're not getting a Christmas tree. And also, she would destroy that Christmas tree, so hell no. I think the house would be filled with like things from the tree and the ornaments. Just no, we had one, a tiny one, and then we planted it outside and it's still growing. So that's awesome. Basil Van, hi, have you already majored in any subject? I think you mean like in school with degrees. I think this is meant. If I'm wrong, correct me. I actually have a bachelor's degree, and my bachelor's degree is in office management with a specialization in event management, and I don't do anything with it. No, I do actually do a lot with my office management degree. It's how I got my job. If I wouldn't have had this degree, I wouldn't have my current job. But I did specialize in event management, but I don't really use that anymore. I could, I think, maybe like on the side of my job, start organizing things, but the financial struggle is what is holding me back mostly. Also, because there is, if you want to organize an alternative event here in Belgium, you have to do it in one of the major cities. So either Brussels, Antwerp, or Ghent. Otherwise, no one comes to your party. That's basically what happens with most parties here. So even if I would do something really cool here in Deinze, which is where I live, then I don't think a lot of people would show up, purely because of the location that I'm at. So yeah, I was correct on that. He asked me what my highest educational qualification is a bachelor's degree. And I did consider going further into it to get a master's degree. But I was just so tired of our school system and the way it works, and the fact that I was still living at home and I didn't want to live at home anymore, that I just decided to go get a job and leave my studies at where they were. It is possible that I would continue studying, but like specific courses that I want to follow in the future, I'm not sure about that yet. Right now, I am working a lot with customs documents, and I might do a course that is from my job, which includes a lot of information about customs, etc., which would be nice to do because right now I rely mostly on my two colleagues, my two very experienced colleagues, to advise with certain questions, etc. But I would love to be able to know those things as well. But that's for somewhere in the future. Amy asks, do you do anything special skincare-wise? You have really clear skin. It looks clear from a distance. And that's also why I'm on this laptop. No, it's not why I'm on this laptop, but my skin looks clear on the laptop. You can see I have a lot of red spots if I turn towards the light. I do use micellar water to cleanse my face every single day, and I use a Nivea day cream which has SPF in it, and it's kind of the city detox one. And I think it works really well. The only thing that I have to be careful about is because I have like combination skin, I can't use too much of it because my skin will like break out and get like really angry at me. So yeah. I see other languages being written. Hooray! Doug Christopher, quelle est votre langue préférée, français, allemand ou néerlandais? So he's asking which language I prefer, French, German, or Dutch. My native language is Dutch, so that's the first language I was taught. My second language is French, and then my third language is English, and I only speak a tiny bit of German. So yeah, French or Dutch. either one of those. And I actually use all three languages at my job on a daily basis, both Dutch, French, and English, and also German almost on a daily basis because all phone calls come through my desk. Hooray! And I work on the export department of my company, so I have to talk to a lot of customers from abroad, and some of those countries speak English. Most of them do actually, but a few of them also speak Dutch or French or German, so it really depends. I'm most comfortable in English though, at work for the job things that I have to do. Let's see. And Amy's saying that I have a video about languages. That's true. It is an older video, and I think that I've improved my English in the meantime, but it is a video on all of the languages that I speak. Okay. I see that we're getting another question. Fancy Garcia, how do you feel about people who smoke tobacco or marijuana? These are controversial topics in my hometown for some reason. Smoking, like normal smoking here in Belgium, is like everywhere. Most houses have at least someone who smokes. My boyfriend smokes, for example. But then the other topic, the marijuana smoking, is really like a taboo subject here in Belgium. And I do and I don't get why. We have something that is called a betogen beleid, which kind of means that if you are caught with marijuana, they will just take it for you, but they will not charge any claims against you or make like a police report about it. They will just give you a spoken warning, and that's it. There are no specific rules about the use or the owning of it here in Belgium, so it's really difficult. I know that the countries next to us, for example, Holland, they have a open policy. Everyone can smoke it there. And actually, if you drive half an hour from where I live, you are in Holland. So people, I personally don't smoke, neither tobacco, neither marijuana, but people that I personally know who do smoke cross the border and then go there to smoke and take some with them home and then smoke at their homes. But like on the streets or in parks, etc., you will barely ever or not at all find people smoking it. Normal smoking, yes, everywhere. Like at my work, there's people smoking constantly. They go outside on lunch breaks, etc., to smoke. That's what they do. But like, it's not my thing. And Doug Christoval asks, have you ever tried smoking weed? Yes, I have, and I hated it. I was sick the entire evening. I usually don't like puke or get sick when I go out, but that night I was super sick. I think they maybe did it on purpose, the people who introduced me to it. I had a really bad time. So I will not ever smoke weed again. No thanks. No. And I didn't even smoke at the time. I smoked for maybe 2 months in my entire life, and it was the worst thing ever. Like once I realized how much money I was spending on it, that just went up into thin air, because basically that's what you're doing. You're buying things to smoke, and smoke goes, it's away, it's gone. So I prefer spending my money on other things, on things that actually bring me joy into my life, like the sweater I'm wearing, the things from my cat, a super fluffy blanket. Those are things that have more importance to me than smoking, especially because smoking is just very bad for you. The main reason that my boyfriend still smokes is because he started smoking when he was very young, and when smoking was still something that was very encouraged by society. Nowadays, it's not anymore, but back then it was, and now he's really addicted to the smoking, so he can't just stop. He's tried many times, but it doesn't really bother me. Like if he just smokes, let him smoke. Like it's his thing, not mine. I don't mind it, and most of the time, like he smokes outside all of the time, so I don't have the smell inside the house, and that's perfectly fine by me. So yeah, Fancy Garcia says it made me sick too. Yeah, it's not for everyone, as Jalen says. Doug says it happens to all for the first time. Eventually, you start liking it so much. Yeah, no, for me, it's not something that I want to do again. The only thing that I had was when we went to Amsterdam, we did have like weed brownies, That I did enjoy, and it was super creative when I ate those. It was back when I was still in art school. That I really did enjoy, mainly also because it wasn't smoking. So yeah. Fancy Garcia says, but trying to quit smoking cigarettes right now. Good luck. I know it's not easy. I know a lot of smokers who tried stopping, but yeah. Let's see what other questions we have. So I'm back to the 50 questions list thingy. Next question. Which one do you prefer, Daft Punk or Gorillaz? And this is very easy for me. It is Daft Punk, especially the older stuff. Like if I would go out right now to like a Daft Punk themed party, I would have the best time ever. I really love electronic music, not specifically goth electronic music, but most electronic music is really something that I enjoy, especially dancing too. The next question on this list is, do you love animals? And my boyfriend is calling me. I'm gonna decline his call and quickly tell him that I'm live on YouTube. Hold on. That's the thing, he doesn't check like if I'm live or not. Like, meh. Uh, do, 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 do. Um, Elena says my dog has really bad skin problems right now. My cat used to have really bad skin problems. She used to have dandruff, which is not good for a cat, and it was actually food related. So she was having an allergic reaction to something in her food, and when we switched the food to another brand of it's cat's adult sterilized, but then we got the sensitive sterilized, and then everything just went away. So maybe if you can go to a vet and ask them to do tests. So she had a test done on her skin to see what was probably causing the dandruff. So she had a shot, and she had these like tiny things that I had to put on her fur, and we also had to change the food, and it was actually the food that was causing the problems. She's up there sleeping. So I think even, hold on. Yeah, I want to try. So that's the cat. there is, there is Tiny Lucky. And no, it wasn't the flea season on my cat, unfortunately. It's something chronic that she's gonna have her whole life, but we just have to give her sensitive food, which doesn't include a certain ingredient, which I'm not sure what it's called anymore. But hey, it's what I have to do. Yeah, she always chills up there. If you can see, the heating is up there as well, so it's always nice and warm. Her ears are moving, yes, because cats pick up sound even when they're sleeping, so her ears are always moving. But she's not reacting to me. Not that she does, but like, she cute. She very cute. If she wakes up all of a sudden and she decides to come here, then she comes. If she doesn't, then she doesn't. Which is what happens most of the time. Her cat's name is Lucky. Lucky for a few reasons. It's the name that she was given by the shelter where we got her from. She was thrown out of a car at a really busy intersection, and the person who stopped and picked her up was actually the second car after the one that threw her out. He just like stopped the entire crossing of cars and just picked her up and brought her to the center where we got her from. So yeah, she was lucky in that way. And also she had bugs, not bugs, but like flea and lice, I think it's called in English, onto her fur and also in her nose and in her ears, etc. And if it would have continued for a few more days that the bugs were in there, she would have had blood poisoning by them. So she was also lucky that she was picked up on time and taken care of. So yeah, and then they thought they were gonna have a lot of problems with her getting adopted because she makes like this typical guinea pig sound. It's like a a pig sound when she breathes through her nose. We're totally used to it, and for us, it's perfectly normal that the cat makes that sound. But for other people, it can be weird. She's super cute though. But yeah, that's a reason that they didn't think she would get adopted. And actually, she was on the website for 24 hours, and we had already met her and told them that I wanted to take her in. So a day later, I actually brought her home. So it went very fast. We actually didn't want to take a cat before we went on holiday to London, but then we met Lucky, and the people who were giving her up for adoption were like, yeah, but like she has to go because otherwise we have other people who want to meet her who are interested in her, and we were like, no, no, we're taking the cat. Um, Whoa, that's a lot of questions. So how old is Lucky? Lucky is born around April last year, so she's a year and a half more or less old. We've had her since August last year, so she's been here for a year and a few months. And we actually gave her the big cat tree for her 1 year anniversary here with us. So yeah. And it's always said when pets come from bad homes, the only thing that you have to do is give them a better home. Um, it is said indeed that some people don't take care of their pets or don't take the responsibility of sterilizing and castrating their pets. It's something that I am very like firmly against, that you don't take care of your pets. So I try my best to give her everything that she wants. Um, how much did you pay to buy Lucky? So the cost of the cat itself was only the cost of her sterilization, which was 120 euros, which is like the normal price if you buy a cat here in Belgium, because you either buy the cat or get it for free, and then you still have to get it sterilized and you pay that price. If you get a male cat, I think it is 90 euros, because castrating a cat is cheaper than sterilizing a kitten. Um, let's see. Elena did ask something else beforehand. Do you mostly make food, or do you dine out or call for takeout sometimes? 9 days out of 10, I do cook myself, and then one day, not every week, but most Fridays, we go and get fries at the fry shop because I don't have a fryer here at home. When we used to have a fryer at home, we used to eat so unhealthy. So when we moved to this place, I decided not to take the fryer with us because it was old and yuck and it smells super bad. And we don't actually miss it. So our local fry shop has a permanent customer every single Friday. Well, not this Friday because I'm home alone and I decided to cook completely vegan for myself, which was super delicious. But yeah, I cook. I love cooking. I really love cooking. So I cook most of the time. If we do takeout or something like that, so it's mostly fries or pizza or sushi. We don't really get takeout most months. We just take fries on Friday and that's it. We don't order pizza or nothing. So it's just not something that we're used to. Here in Belgium, I well, it's possible that most people do order like takeaway or takeout, but I've been raised in a like smaller village where it didn't really exist. So I'm used to cooking, and I do really enjoy cooking. I've been cooking ever since I was able to stand up and hold a pan. I was helping my mom in the kitchen all the time. So yeah. Um, Dazzle Van asks, do you like shopping? Yes and no. I hate just randomly going shopping. If I know what I need, then yes, I love going shopping. For example, recently I needed a new pair of pants, so I knew I needed a new pair of pants, and I went to 3 different stores, tried on well, more than 3 types of pants, and then afterwards, when I had tried them all on, I only bought one pair that I really liked most. And that's how I shop basically. I will try on some options and then decide which one will work best for me, and that's the one I take. And yeah, that's about it. I don't randomly shop. I have a really small regular closet, on which I'm going to make a video pretty soon, because people have been asking me more and more about my office wear, and if I find it hard to dress for the office, then it's actually super easy for me, because I only have a few basics that I can basically combine with each other, which makes it the easiest for me. My goth clothes, on the other hand, are a lot more chaotic. I do own a lot more gothic clothes than I do regular clothes, and that's normal. Well, because I wear them in my free time, in my spare time. So yeah. Next one. Doug asks, what does Lucky like to eat? Her favorite food. We have these treats that she really likes, and they are chicken cheese flavored, and those are the ones she likes most. We also tried the other flavors of the treats, but she didn't like them as much. And she also has cat grass. It's like a plant. It looks like regular grass, but it's like specifically meant for cats to help with their digestion. And she can go out on the terrace every few times a day, and she always runs to it and starts eating the grass. So I think like her favorite things are all of her food, basically, because she really like waits for her food. When it's 6:30, she knows she's gonna get her food, and she will be there waiting for me. So that's fun. Amy asks, anything on your makeup or clothing wish list? Makeup, yes. I have a lot of things that I want. Makeup is something for me that is very hard to contain myself, especially since I am a notoriously morbid affiliate. And ever since I started working with them and working more and more with their products, I've fallen in love with their products more and more. So every time they do a new release, I really have to like contain myself not to get every single thing, even though I started doing so. Um, they recently released some new colors, and tomorrow I'm actually experimenting with one of those colors and the new red eyeliner that they've released. I'm super excited about that one as well. Otherwise, I need to get a new foundation. My Kat Von D foundation has expired, or is more or less expired, and I really need a new one, and I don't want to get Kat Von D again, even though it was pretty good. So I'm looking into getting a new foundation, but I find it very hard buying foundations because I'm super pale and I need something that matches my skin and isn't too warm. I do prefer neutral toned foundations over warm or cool toned ones, so it's a struggle basically. But I did hear a lot of good things about the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation, so I hope I will be able to get to a NYX store pretty soon and try that one out because it does look pretty good. Melissa Evans asked, what is your favorite / easiest recipe? I love cooking pasta, and I can make pasta with virtually anything that I have in the house. My boyfriend's favorite is when I cook pasta, so regular spaghetti. Um, and what do I do with it? Mostly tomato sauce because he loves tomato, and I always have canned tomatoes, so I will just pull open a can of tomatoes and then add spices and herbs, etc. to it and mix it so it doesn't have chunks because he doesn't like chunks. And then I will just add some cheese onto it, and that's it. Um, he loves tomato sauce pasta. I personally like Italian dishes most. So like spicy Italian meatballs with then tomato sauce and pasta is also something I make very often. Here in Belgium, we're really basic food people eaters. So most of the time during the week, I just cook potatoes one day and we eat cooked potatoes with a piece of meat or chicken or something else, and then some veggies on the side. And the day after, I will bake the leftover potatoes from the cooking the potatoes, and then again with a piece of meat or something, and then veggies. And that's basically what we eat most days. Today, I actually had the most delicious, I'm not sure what it was called, but it was super good. Hold on. I don't have it here anymore. It was called chili burgers, but they were bean-based burgers. So they were totally vegan and they were super good. They were not super spicy, not as spicy as I like my own food. But they were super good still. I'm quickly checking. I have a message here. Let's see. I would do nothing. Do you know somebody who doesn't care about anything and just sleeps all day, except Lucky? um, there's a few people I know, well, kind of know. There are people who I see when I go out, etc. They don't have a job. They don't care about getting a job. They are students, but they don't attend their classes and they just game all day, which is basically what I think that this equals to. But yeah. Amy says you should try filming these with your cell phone next time. It looked a lot better when I did that. I had it plugged in though, so the battery wouldn't die. Um, I actually just recently got this new cell phone. It looks a hell of a lot dirty, but it has a screen protector on it. It is a Sony. I'm not sure what it is. It's a Sony, but like, yeah. Um, and it is super good, but I don't know how it works exactly yet. So I still have to figure out all the settings. I might try it though with my YouTube going live. I plan on going live tomorrow, maybe as well. Um, a bit more fancy schmancy than right now because I have to work on some Etsy orders. And every time that I work on Etsy orders now, I try to do it in a live stream because you guys seem to really enjoy those. But I might try it on my cell phone tomorrow. 8-bit unknown error asks, do you crack your neck? Yes, sometimes I do, but I try to avoid it because if you crack your neck, you're actually making it worse. At least that's what my doctor says. So I trust my doctor and I try not to crack my neck too much. Like if I go like this, I can crack it. So, and I actually do it a lot when I'm working on my computer and I feel like I've been pulling on my head too much, then I do crack my neck. I would do nothing, says my kind of people. Yeah, I do get that. Like, if you can, and if you succeed at what you're doing at the time, you can totally be lazy about it. My brother just was a breeze through his studies, so he could like afford to be on his computer, etc. I couldn't. I had to study really hard for my studies. Anyhow, let's see in these questions. The next question on the 50 questions depends. I'm not sure which tag it is anymore. But the next question is, do you love animals? If yes, then which one do you love most? Yes, I love animals and I love my cat Lucky, who's up there most. At this time, at least. The next one, do you have children? If so, how many? Nope, I don't have children. I don't want children. The only child I want is my cat Lucky, which isn't technically a child, but considering. Um, Next question, are you married or single and why? I am not married nor single. I live together with my partner. We have been together for 6 something years. In March, 7 years. So in March, on the 6th of March, it will be 7 years that we've been like officially together, but we were actually together before that already. But yeah, we live together. We're a couple, but we're not married, and we're not. You can be married in front of your town, but not in front of the church. So you technically don't have the married status, but you are like bound to each other. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's all technical things that have to do with taxes, etc. But we're not married, and I'm not sure if we will ever get married. I think as long as you're happy with someone, that's what matters most, and not if you're married or not. And that was actually the next question. If you are not married, when are you going to get married? Maybe someday. We'll see. Next question. What is your favorite drink of all? And that's actually funny because I have the bottle here with me. Iced tea green, not specifically the Lipton one. The Lipton one is not my favorite anymore. My favorite iced tea is now the Fuse tea. What's it called? Mango chamomile, I think it's called. That one is the best so far. And hi, Pepin. Pepin is joining me. Pepin is saying, but you could have a big wedding party. Yeah, yeah. And I could have entertainment at my wedding as well, done by you and your girlfriend and other people who do fancy schmancy fire stuff. Party, yes. I could have a big party, but I'm not into that. Like, nah. Amy says, is it hard to work with the small accessories you use to make your jewelry? My hands are too shaky for that kind of thing. If you use the right tools, it becomes a lot easier. My tools are magnetic, so for picking up the parts, etc., it works really well. I also only do it on nights or evenings that I'm relaxed, because if I'm too stressed, I will also be shaky. But most of the time, when I work on my jewelry, I do a whole batch of things at once, so I don't have to go through stressful times to make it. And my tools definitely do help. They are magnetic jewelry tools that I got off of a special crafts website. I don't know which one, Sayila, I think it was called. And those really help, especially if you have to pick up these tiny parts. You can just go in with the pliers and it just sticks to it, and then you take it out. It doesn't hold too many parts, and if you have chain on it, it does fall off when it becomes too heavy. But yeah. And it's fun that I have people here that I know in real life now. Pepijn. It's funny, we were talking about going live. When I saw him at last Infected, he was like, "You didn't do a live stream before Infected." I was like, I didn't know anyone was interested. So for next Infected, if I'm going, I will definitely be doing a Get Ready With Me live stream because people have been asking for it. um, Next, what is your greatest achievement in high school? Finishing high school, getting my degree. So yeah, I didn't like school. Never liked school. Next question. Are you proud of your points in school? No, I was not proud of the points that I got at the end of my final year because of multiple reasons that I'm not going to go into depth too much in. It is because, well, the main reason is because we had to give points to the other people in our class, and that system is fucked up if you're getting bullied, and yeah, it's just not good. Um, Elena says, going to nap before work. Awesome to know you better. Thank you very much. And yeah, I hope this live stream helps people get to know me a little bit better. I know I don't do many of these videos. I should do them more often because people often are like, yeah, you make awesome videos, but like they feel distant. They feel like they don't know me. So that's why I'm here right now. Melissa Evans is asking me, what is your Etsy store name? It is Orphea333, the same way it is on YouTube. And I have mostly nose to ear chains for sale on my Etsy. Next question on this 50 questions list. Do you want to have a business? Like my own business, maybe someday. I'm actually really considering it. The only downside to having your own business and being like, and working for yourself and not for a company, is that when you are at the pension age, you don't really get a pension. You have to save up everything yourself. You are dependent on what you can save yourself. Whereas if you work for a company, that company is kind of doing it for you. And there's a lot of benefits that you have if you work for a company, whereas if you are independent. So I might go independent as a side job, which is an option here in Belgium that you are, which is called zelfstandig in bijberoep. In Dutch. I'm not sure how that translates. Again, I don't know those technical terms. But basically, you have your main job, which is working for a company, and then secondary to that, you work as an independent for your own company. And it is something that I am really looking into right now, not specifically for right now, but maybe for in a couple of years, because I am developing more skills than I use at my job, especially digital skills. And if I can help out people with those skills, then I think that would be awesome. I have two questions. One is super easy to answer. Which book are you reading? A child's book, Ranger's Apprentice, and it's actually the last one, Oak Leaf Bearers. I started this series quite a long time ago, but I never finished it, so now I'm finally reading the last book of it. It's a fantasy-based series, and yeah, my books are always near me when I'm in the couch because I read in the couch most of the time. And then Notorious No says, where are you from? I can't place your accent. I'm from Belgium. And I'm definitely not a native English speaker, so I pick up all different accents from people I watch on YouTube and people I have conversations with in real life who are from all over the world. I try to have the best English possible, but it's very hard, especially since I don't really have like something to anchor myself on or to base myself on, because the TV I watch is mostly American English, even though a large portion of it is the UK English. And then at work, the people I talk to speak mixed English, which are people from all foreign countries who can speak kind of English, but not really. So we just try and figure things out. Pepijn says you could apply for a artiestkaart. It is tax free. But I'm not an artist, Pepijn. I'm not at that level. I Would Do Nothing says, actually, your accent reminds me of the heroine from the movie Mummy. That is very well possible. I'm not sure what her accent is like. Um, so yeah, I don't know. So we're gonna continue with these questions again. Which business do you want to have and why? If I would have my own business, it would most likely be a digital service. So either online support in Photoshop and retouching, etc., because it is something that I have studied for. I have a art degree. I actually can do all of those things on a technical level. Also, product photography, etc., is something I'm really passionate about. I actually just ordered a few things for white balance, yay! Which are hopefully gonna improve my video making skills as well. I still have to figure things out. If I want to have my own business, I definitely need like a business plan, etc. But for now, that's still too early. I'm still looking at like, is it an option? Is it something realistic that I could do? Could I do more with my Etsy or not? Also, I'm very big into bullet journaling, and there's a lot of resources out there that I think are not sufficient for my personal needs. So I do make a lot of my bullet journaling templates, etc. myself, and I think that could be an option as well to make digital things like printouts, etc., that I could sell or work on or customize, etc. That's definitely an option. But that's all maybes and ifs and some days. So yeah. Next question. What is your most favorite scene from movie you like? I love the opening scene from the very first Underworld movie most. It is super epic with the jump, etc. It is what got me immediately hooked on the Underworld series. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite movie scene. Next question. If you love snakes, which one is your favorite? I do like the aesthetic of snakes, but I don't like snakes. I would never own a snake because I don't feel like I'm skilled enough for it. And I kind of, it's not that I'm afraid of snakes, but it's not something I'm super interested in. I do really like the white pearly snakes that exist. They're super pretty. Every time that I see pictures of those specific snakes, it just looks so gorgeous. There's also those black ones who have this really iridescent shine about them. That's super cool as well. But I would never own a snake. Next question is, do you love music? Which genre is your favorite? I love music, and I love a lot of music. If I have to pinpoint one genre as my favorite, I would say industrial. Why would I say industrial? Because industrial can both be industrial metal, but also industrial electronic music. And I'm kind of somewhere in between all of that. But I do listen to a lot more music. I both listen to very electronic music and very metal-minded music, as well as poppy music. I don't listen to like what's on the radio most of the time, but I do listen also to classical music and to all sorts of things. So I'm really like addicted on music. I listen to music almost all the time. Next one, please tell me which one is your favorite, old school rap or today's new age rappers. Okay, and then we're going to like the very first genre of music that I don't really like. It is rap music, so I'm not going to answer this question. Next question, how tall are you? Have you dreamt of being taller? I am 1.84 meters tall, and no, I do not dream of being taller. This is way tall enough for me. I would do nothing asks, and what about very large snakes like pythons? I think they are beautiful. I think they are incredible creatures, but I would not want them in my home or anywhere near me. It's not that I'm terrified, but still, I think it's natural not to feel attracted specifically to snakes. I prefer like petting my cat instead of a snake. So yeah. Um, Amy Neck Critique says, how many countries have you been to? I actually don't know. So there's Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, which is a country as well, Germany, Switzerland, Spain, Italy, Portugal, the UK, of course. I've been to Egypt, so that's already 10 countries. I think that's about it. I think 10 countries, maybe? Maybe I should make a list and just detail it. Because Belgium is like right in the middle of other countries. It's super easy to go to other countries. I've been to France a few times, so I'm not sure if I said France, but that would make 11. So those countries for sure. Possibly more, because as a kid, my parents used to take me and my brother with them when they traveled, but I don't know every single country that I've been to anymore. Notorious No asked, who's your favorite classical music composer? That's a very difficult question. I do really like Chopin. Um, I do like how intricate his music is. Mozart is, of course, also a very big, very famous name. Beethoven, I really love Beethoven. But I used to play classical music, and if I could choose the music that I played, it was most of the time Chopin that I choose to play. I used to play the flute, so very boring instrument, but I did have a lot of fun with it. Let's see. The next question on this tag is, what is your favorite number and why? My favorite number is 2. It has always been 2, and I have no clue why. So if someday you have to ask me, like, what's the number between 1 and 10 that you like most, or pick a random number, it will most of the time be 2, or 22, or 222. I really like 2 for some reason. Next question. Have you ever been on any bridge? Do you like bridges? This is a funny question. Of course, I've been on bridges. I live right next to a bridge. Like, I have to cross the bridge to get to work. Um, I feel perfectly fine about bridges. I think they're a very practical way to get from point A to point B. Amy also asks, what is something you've always wanted to try but have been too scared to? For those of you who maybe know me a tiny bit from before, I really love special effects makeups. And I want to have a live cast of my own face, but I'm actually really scared about getting the live cast done. And that's one of the reasons I don't have one yet, is because you have to be covered totally in plaster. And it's just a really claustrophobic feeling. I really love special effects, and I would love to do more with it, but I think I'm kind of holding myself back on it. And one of the reasons is because I'm kind of scared to get a live cast done of myself. The option that is mostly gonna happen is that I make a live cast of my boyfriend's face, who doesn't have that problem, and he is my main model for all of my special effects looks. If I do zombie makeups, it's mostly on him or on paid customers. But yeah, I do really love special effects makeup, and something I've always wanted to do is also take classes in special effects makeup. Um, but like most of the time that there's workshops, it's during the week, and during the week I have to work. And by the time they announce it, most of the time it's too late for me to ask leave off of work. But I do try and make things myself. Like, I have made small prosthetics for my zombie makeups. I make wounds for when I do reenactment, because I do medical reenactment. So I have all sorts of wounds that I can real time stitch up, etc. Burn wounds that you can treat and put stuff on top. I also did fish scales for someone, so the actual gills. So she had like 2 appliances that were here in her neck. that were like fish gills, and then also some scales to go on her face. Those were all made out of silicone, and silicone is actually the material that I work with most. I have a silicone kit that is like ready to mix and that you directly apply onto the skin to make wounds. And then I have my silicone casting kit, which I use to make molds with, etc., which is what I do most often. And Pepin says, "Oh my God, we should do this together." Me and Lisa are looking into this. Yes, if you need any help with it, I can definitely do it. I actually own all the materials to make live casts and to mold and cast, etc. I just don't have the time for it. Amy also asks, "What would be your perfect job?" I don't have the skill set for my perfect job. My perfect job would be to be in movie magic, in movie making, so in special effects makeup, basically. If I could do any job and would have all of the qualifications for it, I think that would be it, because I love being creative. I also like the structure that it needs, because if you don't do the things into the right order, you mess up your project. And that's something that I feel is most people who are into arts are really artsy and have all these creative ideas. For me, it is sometimes harder to get my ideas out. So it takes me a lot of time to brainstorm my ideas and to actually conceptualize what I want to do. But then the technical aspect and the actual working aspect of it is something I'm very comfortable with. Like sculpting is not something I am super good at yet, but I am learning different techniques, etc. But because I do everything with online tutorials and books as guides, it's not the same thing as actually getting it taught by someone. And that's something that I would really love to do and really put more time into, but I just can't. I can't quit my full-time job, and I can't go work less than a full-time job because I have to pay rent, etc. So yeah. Um, Pepin says, "I mean, the face cast, we need one for one of our suits." Pepin, send me your details. Send me it through Facebook so I can talk to you after this live stream so we can figure out what you need and if I can help you with it. Because 9 chances out of 10 I can, because I do have a lot of stuff. That's the thing with me, basically. I get super invested into something, I buy the entire kit that I need, and then I only use it for a few small projects, which is kind of maybe wasteful, but I do end up using everything in the end, but it's complicated. Mhm. Next question on these 50 questions tag thing that I'm not sure if I'm going to finish is, where are you working right now? I'm not going to say the name of the company that I work for, but I work at a pet food company very close to where I live. So if you know to Google a little bit, you will most likely find out which company it is, but I don't feel comfortable just saying I work there. And what I do in the company is I do all of the export management and documentation, etc. So I register the orders, I make sure the orders get through, I apply for the custom documents, I make sure that all the documents are applied for on time and get back to me on time. I send them out to the customers, and I do all of the customer service for the export customers, which is basically everywhere in the world, for the exception of France, Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and the UK. And even I do customer service for those companies as well if my other colleagues are not there, because I do complaint management, and complaint management is a lot more difficult than just like answering questions. So we have a team of specific people who do complaint management, and I'm one of those. So if one of my coworkers is not there, I am a backup for them, which can be France, which can be UK and those other countries, or which can be Belgium. Belgium, most of the time, I'm not a backup of, because there's other people who know it better than me. But for the other countries, I am, especially for France, because I am French native speaker. It's just easy. The next question: have you ever dreamt of being a successful lawyer? No. Law is not something that I'm interested in particularly. I did have law classes at school. I didn't fail them or anything, but it wasn't a subject that I was most passionate about. Then they make me choose which actor is my favorite, Al Pacino or Robert De Niro. I would go for Robert De Niro in this case because I've seen more movies with him in it. The question after that is, where do you want to travel? I want to travel to the US to see Amy Critique, because I would love to meet her, like in real life. So I would love that. I would love to travel to the US. I'm getting more questions here. Notorious No says, have you ever dealt with a rude customer in your job? Yes, I have. I deal with rude customers on almost a daily basis. Unfortunately, it is rather common because of how things were handled in the past in the company. It was really slow, the complaint management, whereas right now we are much more on top of things. But it leads to a lot of frustrated customers who have been with the company for a long time, who immediately think that everything is going against them. So sometimes it is really difficult to stay calm, stay polite, and help them. But I've been trained to do this. I know how to handle it. So for me, it's not really something difficult. Amy says, what was the most difficult video you've made for your channel? The most difficult video. I always feel very self-conscious when I'm doing lookbook videos. So the fishnet video was for me kind of hard. Well, not hard as in filming and editing, etc. But like hard for me to see myself and not to be too judgy of myself. Same with the lip service video. Those were two videos that I really loved the end result of, and that I'm really happy that I made. But like during filming, I always kind of second guess myself, and that's totally normal. Um, when it comes to editing, etc., the most difficult video to piece together was my dancing video, because I had a lot of clips that I had to piece together and wanted to piece together to make it interesting. So on a technical level, that was the most difficult one, also because it had to match the music, which is not the easiest thing to do. But I did really love those videos in the end. So even if a video is more difficult for me to make, I will, if I put it up, it's something that I want you guys to see and that I'm proud of that I've made. And there's always an evolution going on in the YouTube videos that you make. So I think it's only normal that you have like not so good videos and then better videos. I think that's normal. You have to find out what works and how, and your setup, etc., which I'm still struggling with. So I think it's normal. I think it's only normal that you struggle with your YouTube videos as a YouTuber. I think you're always your own worst critique, that you always think of your own videos that they're worse than what they actually are, and that you will always prefer what other people are making. I think that's normal. I think it's something amongst YouTubers that you will always have. Um, Next question. Which ocean is your favorite and why? I don't have a favorite ocean. These questions are really weird. Next question. Have you ever been in Europe? If yes, where? I live in Europe, so yes, I have been in Europe, and I have been in Belgium, the Netherlands, France, Germany, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Spain, Portugal, the UK. I think those are all like the European countries that I've been in. I think. Next question. Do you love history? Did you have high grades in history class? Yes, I actually did always have good grades in history up until we got to the World Wars. So I was very good at history when it was more based on architecture and just all-round facts. But every time that wars were involved and important numbers about wars, I just nope. I know about wars now, and now that I'm older, I kind of know also why I wasn't really connecting with it when I was a lot younger. And I think they taught us about wars way too soon. I think I was in my third year of secondary school, so I was 12, 13, 14 at the time when they taught us about the wars the first time. I think if they would have waited until we were 16, 17, 18, so in the later years of school, that would have stuck a lot better and would have maybe sparked more interest about them as well. Who is your favorite king in world history? King Tut of Egypt, because I love Egypt and I love the symbolism and the thought that they had behind everything. Then we have a question on which I don't have an answer. Which one do you prefer, George Washington or Thomas Jefferson? I know they were like US people, US presidents, but I'm not from the US and I don't have any preference on these. Next question. Which one is your favorite, Barack Obama or George Bush? Most definitely Barack Obama. He has been on Mythbusters. And here in Europe, we have a very good image of Barack Obama. He's portrayed very positively here in the media. So I think that influences my answer as well. George Bush and George Bush Jr., so both senior and junior, have a really bad image here in media, mostly because of the war in Iraq. So it's kind of the answer to this question is heavily influenced by media and what the media wants us to think about these people. But yeah, if I have to follow what I personally think right now, based on the things that I know, I would go for Barack Obama. Next question. Do you believe that Trump will make America great again? I honestly don't know, and I honestly don't think so. But I don't live in America. I don't know what it's like, and I don't know how it's affecting the lives of people in America. So I honestly don't know. Um, have you voted in the US elections? I don't live in the US, but I have voted in the Belgian elections. I do so every single time because we have to. We don't have. We have the obligation to go vote as a Belgian citizen. Everyone has to go vote. It's not like America that you can go vote. No, here you have to go vote. Um, then they ask a lot of things about politics in the US, which I'm just gonna skip. I'm just gonna go until I find an interesting question. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask me. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stay for very long still. I want to, but like there has to be some fun questions to answer for that, and not for you guys to get bored with me sitting here. Um, Notorious Nose says, "What do people from Belgium think about Americans?" I think it depends who you ask. Um, the American people that I personally know, like Amy and other people that I conversate with on a regular basis, are very smart people, very well educated people who have their shit together, who know a lot of things, who are educated, etc. But I think by the media here, Americans, the typical image that you get of an American is mostly like the more redneck, the stupid American image, which I think is completely wrong. But it is what happens in media here. They portray Europe as like smart and educated and polite, and they describe America as not polite, as uneducated, etc., which I think is completely wrong. But it's what the media try to do, and that's also one of the reasons that I don't watch the news, that I don't watch like normal television, etc. I only watch specific programs that I want to see. I will record them. We have a TV with a subscription, but we don't ever watch like regular TV programs. Um, but yeah, that's unfortunately the image that the media are trying to portray of America, which I think totally sucks. Like, if anyone can let me know, what is the image that you guys have from Belgium? Do you even know what Belgium is or where it is? Like, I think most people who are on this live stream know where Belgium is, etc. But like, I'm curious, the people who don't live in Belgium, like, what image do you have of Belgium? What is it? I'm curious. The next question on this list that I feel like could be like fun to answer is, who do you admire the most, your mother or your father? And I actually admire both of my parents because they both didn't have it easy. My father has had a lot of medical issues the past few years. He is a football referee, or he was a referee at least. Well, he's still, it's complicated. Like, because of medical reasons, he had to step back from being a referee at the level that he was and that he did the referee things at, because of those medical reasons, and he still hasn't recovered fully from it. So yeah, but he's a fighter and he's really trying to get back, but it's really hard. Also because he's a bit older now, he doesn't recover as quickly from the medical operations that he has to undergo. And then my mom is kind of my hero in my eyes because, well, my mom really helped me a lot during my education, getting through it, helping me with classes, etc. My mom used to be like independent. She worked for herself. She was someone who repaired musical instruments, and she was very passionate about music, and she taught me always do what you enjoy, but make sure it is livable. Because at one point she was working nonstop to try and like keep the house and keep us fed, etc. But she was working too much, and then she made the decision to stop being like the worker that she was. She stopped working on musical instruments, and she got a more or less secretary job, a office job, and then she made a lot more money out of it, and she had a lot more benefits. And that's what made me realize that okay, it's good to have a passion, but if it's not livable, if you're killing yourself over your passion from working so much, then go find something else you're good at and make a living that way. My mom is still very much working with music, as in she still plays music actively, she's in bands, etc. But she's not as invested anymore as she used to be, which is totally fine. Notorious No says Americans have only heard of Belgian waffles and that's about it. Belgian waffles, but not Belgian chocolate and fries? Like, do people even know that French fries are actually Belgian fries and not French fries? Like, Belgium is mostly known for fries, chocolates, and waffles, okay. But, like, fries and chocolate are most important, in my opinion at least. Pepijn says, the problem in the American person we see the most here in Belgium is Trump, and I guess he's not the average American. Yes. Amy asks, have you tried American chocolate yet? Do you think it sucks? The only American chocolate I've tried were the Twix bars that you sent me in one of our exchange boxes, but I haven't actually tried like American chocolate. So if we do a next box trade, I will send you Belgian chocolates and you can send me American chocolate so I can try them. I've heard really good things about Hershey's Kisses or something. I'm not sure if it's even American, but we don't have it here. One thing I really love about American chocolate is the Reese's cups. Yes, Pepijn is talking about them as well. We recently got those in Belgium, but I'm not sure if they are actually American chocolate or if they're made in Belgium and then sold here as like an American product, because that's possible as well. But I really do love Reese's. Like, I love Reese's. Like, they don't sell them in any stores around me. Otherwise, I would always have them. When I worked in Brussels, there was one store really close to where I worked that had them, and I went to get them like every lunch break. I would do nothing says Belgium is known for chocolates and sleeping on couches. Not sure. No worries. Yeah, most people don't know about Belgium. Belgium is a really, really tiny country, so it's normal. Amy says, do you have any weird national dishes that are kind of gross? Like some countries have fermented fish dishes that smell nasty. Let's think about this. I don't know, actually. I think stoofvlees is something very Belgium. It's basically meat that you cook with beer and other things added to it. I'm not sure how it's called in English. Stoofvlees. Pepijn, if you have a Google machine at your disposal, help. And Pepijn is also saying préparé, which is basically beef that you chop up and then serve it. It's raw. So it's raw beef that is like chopped up, ground up. Oh, and the other thing I was talking about is actually called beef stew, and that's a typical dish here in Belgium. And we make it with super good Belgian beers, so it's really nice. Especially with darker beers, it's super good. And I used to make my own beef stew, but we have one of the local butchers here that makes an excellent one, and it's not super expensive, so I prefer just buying it pre-made. And I'm trying to cross my legs again. And then he also say mussels. And fun fact, I'm allergic to mussels, or I used to get really sick over them. So I haven't tried them in like years, and it just smells bad. But mussels are something that is very typical here, especially if you live closer to the sea. You will eat mussels a lot more than you have here. They also have what is called fish pan, and it's like a combination of mussels and other types of fish into a typical sauce that they serve here. I'm not a fan, but a lot of people are. Oh, let's have a drink. Amy asks, do you have fast food restaurants there? Yes, we do, but not in. No, I'm not drinking Monster. Water, clear water, and I used to have a little bit of iced tea. But it's true, most days that I'm filming for my YouTube, I am drinking Monster, but I prefer drinking water. I only drink Monster if I need to record because I need energy to film and to be happy and excited about the thing I'm filming. I am most of the time, but like, still, it's tiring. So yeah, about the fast food restaurants, we do. I think like as a chain, we have Quick and McDonald's. We also have Burger King. Since recently, we also have Subway, but most of the times the problem is that they're only in like the bigger cities. And since I don't live in a big city, I don't have any of those. The closest one to here is Quick, and it is a 15-minute drive by car, which isn't far. I think like if you live in the US, I think that distances are a lot bigger within the same city, whereas here in Belgium, you have crossed 3 cities already in that same amount of time because Belgium is so tiny. So yeah. Notorious No says, if you have a PO box, I can send you Reese's. That's very kind of you. Um, I don't have a PO box, and if I really want Reese's, I can go to the shop that is a tiny bit further, and they have them. They are more expensive though than most places. They are called US Candy Online or something, but they have a physical store. I have had the white ones and the regular chocolate ones already, and I like the regular ones more than the white ones. And they also have these tiny ones, but I didn't enjoy those. I really like the bigger like Reese's cups. I think they're called butter cups. They are super good. And it's very kind that you want to send me some, but I can get some if I really want to. It's super unhealthy. Like, uh, I live in Belgium, so it's super easy for me to get chocolate. So I have chocolate all the time in my house, and I eat it all the time. And that's how you get cavities in your teeth. So, Amy asks, out of all of your piercings, which ones hurt the most? Ooh, difficult one. My nose piercing. So this piercing definitely was really painful because it goes through like the nose wing thing, which is thicker, etc. And then also this one, which is what's it called again? It's a helix piercing, I think, or is it a date piercing? No, the helix piercing is. I'm not sure what this one is called again, but this one really hurts because it goes through the thick piece of your ear as well. And then I used to have a helix piercing over here in my ear, and that one was a motherfucker to get done, and it was also a bitch to get healed. It was the most terrible piercing for me personally to get. Main reason is because I sleep on my ears. So if the piercing is on the inside of my ear, it is fine. Question of healing. But if it's like on the outer rims of my ears, it's really not good because I constantly push on it. It gets caught in my hair, etc. So if I want another piercing in this ear, which I really want, I'm thinking about getting the tragus done. So here, oh, and this one is called a Dave piercing. I just remember. So the Dave piercing also really hurts. Piercings that people are surprised about that didn't hurt are my tongue piercing, which was really like a breeze for me to get. And then my septum piercing. This one was also not very painful to get, but that's also because I have the right nose for it, as in I have like a space between my nose thing here and then the bone of the nose. So there's this really thin piece of skin that they pierce through if you have it. And for me, it was perfect. So my septum piercing was really nothing for me, basically pain wise. I almost didn't notice the needle going through. So that's how little painful it was. Tongue piercing is not so painful because it's soft tissue that you're going through and not like cartilage, etc. Uh, Pain Stiller says, but every village has two fry houses, at least. So yeah, here in Belgium, we don't really have really big fast food chains in every village, but every village has a fry shop, and it's something that you will see everywhere here in Belgium. And every village has multiple of those. Like at least two is like an understatement. I can think of 5 that are in walking distance of my house right now. Only one of them is good, and most people actually have like a favorite place to get fries, which is very typical here in Belgium. Um, EC asks, will you play music? No, I will not play music today on my live stream. I will just be talking to you guys, which is also nice for a change. I would do nothing, says eating chocolate all the time, jealous. Yet you say you've been thin. Yes. I've always been on the thinner side. I used to eat, well, my parents kind of raised us that we could have, after school, we could have one snack type thing. So it could be some crisps or some chocolate or biscuits or something. And then we had our meal, like a few hours later. And then after that meal, we could have one dessert. So we had not the worst diet. So that's why I was always kind of thin. Um, and when I moved out, when I started living with my boyfriend, I gained a little bit of weight because I could eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. So I had a lot of chocolate, a lot of cookies, etc. I still gained a little bit of weight, but most of that weight is gone by now. And also because I'm super tall, people don't tend to really notice it if I gain a lot of weight, etc. The things that I've changed this past year is that I limit the amount of chocolate I eat. So I avoid having chocolate in my house at all times, or having the chocolates that I really love in the house at all times. And I try to drink more water, which is especially important for me because at my previous job, we would have cans of cola and cans of orange juice and Fanta and other things at the job. At my current job, we don't have those. If you want those, you have to bring them yourself. In my previous job, they were just something we got from the company during work time. It was normal there. But because at my current job, I drink water all the time. So for me, it's become a habit that I've really kept up with. When I'm at home, during weekends, I allow myself 1 can of energy drink per day, or 2 glasses of other soda drink. So if I want to drink iced tea, I will only drink a maximum of 2 glasses a day. Same with cola, same with Fanta, etc. And if I have one Monster, I might maybe drink 1 glass of other soda with it, like the same day. But most of the time, I will try and drink as much water possible. And I do notice a big difference in how much energy I have, how sluggish I used to be, and how I feel right now, basically. So yeah, one of the biggest changes that made me happier and healthier was switching most of my drinks to water, surprisingly. um, Notorious No asks, what is your favorite American food and Belgian food? One of the things that Americans have is super spicy food, and I am a huge fan of spicy food. So those flaming hot Cheetos, I only had them once, but they were delicious. It is one of the most perfect things that you guys have in America, and they don't have them here. It's something that Belgium has to catch up with because I want all of the spicy foods. My favorite Belgian food is very difficult because I'm so used to eating it all the time. My overall favorite food is sushi, but sushi is not typically Belgian. So if I have to go for a typically Belgian thing, it would be fries. More specifically, fries with beef stew. That is something like super common here in Belgium. It is super delicious. Also with fries with what's it called? When you have chicken that is cooked on a turning thing, like over a, it's not over a fire, but it's over a heat source, and they sell it at markets most of the time here in Belgium, or like in bigger food stores. It's called rotisserie chicken, I think. It has lots of spices on it, and the skin of the chicken is crispy. So that's rotisserie chicken. Yes, I was correct. Yay! So rotisserie chicken with fries, and then with apple mousse, so like chopped up apples, is one of the main Belgian dishes that you can get at most places. It's super delicious. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to apples, so I had to switch the apple compote mousse thing to apricot mousse, compote, whatever it's called. So that's one of my favorite Belgian dishes as well. So, yeah. I would do nothing asks, curious, what was your parents' workplace like? Do you think they had the one snack, one dessert thing from their traditional practices? I know where it comes from actually. It comes from the war era. We had wars here in Belgium, and because of that, there were very strict food restrictions. So you didn't have a lot of food, so you couldn't eat a lot of things. And my grandparents still, well, my grandparents were war survivors. My grandmas, both of them are still alive. They actually had to supply during the war. So one of my grandmas, she well, her parents owned a metal store like that sold pans, but also nails and other supplies, and they were kind of put up for rationing supplies for the army. And my other grandma, because she came from a farmer's family, had to supply more food for the army. So she had to work extra time and extra hours and work together with the military. And they don't like talking about it. So once they knew that I was very interested in war and knowing what happened, etc., they both kind of told me, but when I was alone with them and not with my other siblings or my parents, etc., because you never know how people are going to react to those things. But basically, I think that because what happened during the war, that my grandparents put my parents onto like severe rations because they didn't have a lot. And whenever I go to my grandma's, I can't ever leave there without having had something to eat. And that's also something that is very typical of people who have survived the war. It is because you never knew when you were going to have your next meal. And everything was very like counted for. They didn't have the luxury that we have right now to go to a store and just buy everything that they want and just have everything that they want. My home phone is ringing. I'm not gonna answer that. I know it is, but I'm not gonna answer it. I'll call them back later. But yeah, basically, I think we were raised very strict because my dad was in the military as well. His brother was in the military as well. A lot of my family have military history, or backgrounds at least, and it kind of shows through. I think that's basically what's happening here. And now on to a brighter subject, because this is nothing bright and happy and sunshiny to talk about. It's nothing I talk about often either, because it's just not something I like talking about. I will talk about it, as you've just heard me do, but most of the times I won't, because people still are kind of like taboo about war, etc. So yeah, but it's something that happened. It's something that is very important, that happened in history. It's important that we don't forget it, because a lot of kids nowadays, they don't know who Adolf Hitler was. A lot of kids don't know what happened in the First and in the Second World War. They don't know about this racial execution of Jew people. They don't know. They are oblivious to all of these things, and it's terrible, because once you start forgetting those things, that's when they happen again. And unfortunately, that's something that I'm afraid will happen again with the Islam, and it's something that I'm honestly very scared about. I hope that people are going to get less butthurt in the future, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think people are going to get more and more extreme, and the people who have thick skin and the people who are rational about things have to be more present, I feel, because nowadays, if you look on Facebook, the only people that you hear are like the extreme people, the people that are very for or very against certain things. And the people who are in the middle ground, you don't really hear them, but it's especially those people who are in the middle ground that should have more of a voice. But this is getting way too deep. So, Notorious No says, I've never heard of anyone allergic to apples. I'm actually allergic to apples and pears because they have the same allergen thing in them, because those two fruit types are very related to each other and they have something I react to. I'm also allergic to carrots. I'm not sure if I'm still allergic to shell seafood, so crustaceans, etc. I'm not sure, but I don't dare eat them too much. And I'm allergic to house mites, which is something I've had for a very long time, which I take my medication for every single day. Otherwise, I get all itchy and it's not comfortable. So, yeah. Amy asks, are you allergic to all fruits with seeds? No, I can actually eat almost any fruit. I do have to pay close attention that it's not overly ripe, because if fruit is ripe, so for example, if a kiwi is still like hard but starts to get squishy, then I can eat it. But if the kiwi is very ripe and it is very mushy, then I should really not eat it because I will have an allergic reaction to it. Although my doctors tested me for kiwi allergy and I'm not technically allergic to it. So it has something to do with the ripeness level of fruits. But I can eat apricots, I can eat other types of fruit, no problem. The fruits that I like to eat most are bananas and then all types of melons. So watermelon, regular melons, all types of melons I really like. Also, things that I really like are orange, but since orange is very acidic, it really hurts my teeth when I eat it. So I have to pay attention to that as well. Like, we are the generation of over allergic people. And it's because we are so protected from a young age and we are so used to getting certain things from a young age that we get intolerance to it and it damages our bodies, etc. But also, if you consider that humans were not supposed to get older than 35 to 40, then you know that we're really stretching the lifespan and that it's necessary to have medical interventions. Otherwise, why would we have so many dentist things that we have to get done? It's because our teeth get damaged from the food we eat. So, Notorious No says, you are allergic to very delicious things. I know. I am very much aware that I'm allergic to them. It's very difficult for me to go out on work lunches because most of the times it's like pre-made things. So they have like an assortment of sandwiches that is made. And for most persons, for most people, that's not a problem. But I always have to go and ask, like, is there carrot in anything? Is there any apples or something in anything? So that I know what I can eat and what I can't eat. I would do nothing says, I think it's the lactose tolerance which maybe has altered the chemical balance. Yes, I was lactose intolerant when I was born, but it like goes away if you have it as a child. I'm still sensitive to lactose, so I should not be drinking an entire glass of milk, then I will just get sick to the stomach. I will not have an allergic reaction, but I would feel physically ill. So I do use soy milk or almond milk or soy-based products more, mostly also because I'm used to them, because I would have them as a kid and then my parents would not take the risk and get me going ill again. So most of the yogurts, etc., that we had were soy-based and I really like those. So for me, that's something that I grew up with and that is normal for me. I do have like regular milk in the house, of course, mostly for my partner, not so much for myself. But yeah. I would do nothing asks alcohol. What do you mean with alcohol? Do I drink alcohol? The answer is yes. Which alcohols? Mostly vodka. Well, mixed with something, of course. But yeah, I'm not sure what you mean with alcohol. Let's see. A few more questions. I'm going to stay for another 10 minutes, more or less. So, that we have a 2-hour live stream, which is super long for me. Notorious No asks, have you ever tried spicy candy from Mexico? Very delicious. No, I have not, unfortunately, because all things spicy sound super awesome to me. I really love spicy food. If I cook and there's other people who are coming to eat, I will always ask them beforehand, like, do you like spicy food or not? If they don't, then I will make my sauces for me really bland and not use like chili powder, etc. But if I cook for myself and my partner, I make it not super, super spicy, but still spicy enough for me. And Tabasco is one of my favorite things to have in the house, together with sriracha sauce, which I use for most of my like more Asian dishes. Um, let's see, what is one of the next questions? What do you prefer, Windows or Mac? I prefer Windows over Mac because Windows is more versatile than Mac. But if you are going for performance, like for Photoshop, etc., we used to have Macs at school where I was learning about art, and those computers were a lot better for art purposes. But right now I have a computer that is a Windows system, but it is a built computer, so I have all the parts that I need to do whatever I want to do with it, and it is super good as well and a lot less expensive. So I'm a Windows gal. I do have a tablet that I won, which is a iPad, which I do enjoy. I do really like it. Considering how long I've had it, it still works super good. But yeah. Let me check. More questions. Who has a higher spice tolerance, you or your partner? Definitely me. My partner doesn't taste as well because he smokes, but I do have a better tolerance for spicy foods than he does. Huh. So, I'm just scrolling through these questions on the list because I'm not sure which ones to answer. Um, do you have pets, cat or dog? Still a cat. She's still sleeping up there. Oh, here a question that I get asked, especially when I go out, is which drink do I prefer, Pepsi, Cola, or Coca-Cola? And the question is very easy here in Belgium. It is Coca-Cola. I don't think a lot of people here drink Pepsi Cola, and Pepsi Cola is not very common either here in Belgium. Like you can find Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola related products everywhere, but Pepsi Cola is something that is a very rare breed here in Belgium. Sorry for that. If you guys still have any questions, feel free to shoot them at me. Again, I'm gonna stay until I've been live for 2 hours, which seems like a good mark for today, which is actually one of the longer live streams that I've done so far. I'm not used to doing live streams anymore. I used to do them more often, but then in October I just didn't have a lot of time for them. And I will try to do one again tomorrow for sure, if I can, when I'm going to work on my Etsy orders. I'm quickly scrolling through the questions. Oh, one of them is, who is your favorite male YouTuber and who is your favorite female YouTuber? My favorite female YouTuber is Amy Necrotique. She's always been one of my favorite YouTubers because she's so straightforward and just so honest about what she says. Also, because she has taught me a lot about music. Favorite male YouTuber is very hard because I don't have a lot of male YouTubers that I follow. I should actually check. So I'm just going to open my YouTube app to see who I am subscribed to, who has recently uploaded. I know that I have a lot of male YouTubers that I watch. I just can't seem to remember a name right now. And it's like female, female, female. Whoops. Okay, I definitely watch a lot more female YouTubers than males. Cole Candy. Cole Candy is really cool. I think for male YouTubers, he has to be one of my favorites, if not my favorite. He's very interesting style. I love the way he makes videos. I really loved his festival videos. It gave me a kind of different insight on festivals than the one that I'm used to, because I'm not like super outgoing on festivals, etc. So Um, I would do nothing says so. It's a channel for crafting and cooking. You mean my YouTube channel? Well, I try to include as much as possible about being alternative, being God on my channel, which is music. Music is super important for me. I also do crafts, but not as much anymore, mainly because I've had people steal my crafts and just make them themselves. And sell them even then, which if you make something from one of my DIY videos for yourself, I don't mind it. It's what those videos are for. But then if you start your own business based on those things, then that's just wrong. Um, Cooking videos is not something that I make very often. I do make cooking videos for Halloween, or I did make a few cooking videos for Halloween, but it's like really easy and simple things. I'm not sure if I'm the best person to make cooking videos. It's something I love doing, but it's not something that I would want to spend an entire hour filming it. I do enjoy cooking and I enjoy eating the thing I've cooked and not making it look pretty. Most of the time, the food I make doesn't look as delicious as it is. So, yeah. Notorious No asks, what time will you live chat tomorrow? I actually don't know. So you guys can suggest times to me. If a time like right now works best for you guys, and I can try and do that. Earlier, later, it's all an option. I don't have like a specific time schedule that I have to follow tomorrow or that I will follow tomorrow. I have to be at home, or I will stay at home the entire day. So yeah, whatever works best for you guys. That's what I'm gonna do because I just pick a time that works for me most of the time because of practicality, and also when my partner is home and when he's doing other stuff that I feel like I can do the live stream, and that it's not like I'm gonna live stream, I'm gonna leave you alone for the next hour. That's not what I want to do. So this weekend, he's mostly gaming with friends of his at a friend's place, so I have time for myself to do the things that I like. And live streaming with you guys is something that I really enjoy doing. And I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. So, yeah. And I do enjoy as well that I don't always have to put on makeup for these live streams because I asked a few of my subscribers lately, like, do you think that I come across like weird or anything without makeup? And they were like, it's just you. And some of them were also asking for more videos of me without makeup on. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen anytime soon. For my live streams, I feel like it's normal. Like for work, when I go to work, I never wear makeup, so for me it's only normal not to wear makeup. But I do love wearing makeup, so if I can dress up and do my makeup for my videos, I will do so. Today was a work day, as in, well, not work day, but I still had to do a lot of fun stuff today. I had to go to the dentist, I had to go ask information about my new camera, stuff. So yeah, most of my days are rather busy. But yeah, I like taking the time sometimes when I can to do these live streams, which are very fun for me. Um, I Would Do Nothing says it was a lot of fun being here. Thank you so much for being here. It was a lot of fun for me too. Notorious No says we enjoyed chatting with you. Well, thank you very much. I enjoy you guys being here as well. And Amy says we'll try to join tomorrow between running errands. If you guys have any time suggestions, because right here it is 9:30 more or less in the evening. I am not sure what that translates to where you guys are, and if it's an easy time for you to join or not. I started today at 7:30. If this time for you works tomorrow as well, I can do that. That's like a really good time for me. It's an easy time. It's after I ate and after I watched my episode of Face Off, which is basically what I did. I was here sitting on my computer and then Face Off was done, and I was like, I'm going live. But yeah, Cat's still sleeping. I'm sorry you couldn't see her. Most of the times I'm able to catch her. while she's running around, so you guys can actually see my cat. But she's still sleeping, and I'm just gonna let her sleep. And I'm gonna start working on my next videos, which I'm super excited about. I'm gonna give you like a small insight on what I'm currently working on. I'm starting the God Subculture series, so I'm gonna start with the oldest part of the God subculture, Thread God first. And that's gonna be my first video of that series that is gonna be up, and I'm gonna make one part of that series every single month, so that I have two running series for now that will be on my channel. So I will have the monthly music favorites and new releases, and then together with that also the subculture series, which is then yeah, about the types of subculture. So those are the series that I'm working on. And tomorrow I'm gonna film my Thread God video, and I'm gonna try and do it as best as possible, which is very hard because I don't specifically think that I know every single thing about these subcultures. I do know a lot about them, but not every single thing. So that kind of makes it hard to make those videos. I did really enjoy making them. Well, making the What is God video, and I'm just gonna base myself onto those and make more and more until there is no more. Um, so yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm getting one more question. Notorious No asks, have you ever done a goth makeup tutorial? I think so. I think so. I have multiple makeup tutorials on my channel. Most of them are not from when I live here, and a few of them are the Halloween tutorials that I recently made. But I do think, I'm pretty sure I have got makeup tutorials. I have a specific list of videos that are makeup related, makeup and beauty related, and those include the makeup tutorials that I've made. But I really want to do more tutorials, and I actually should. A lot of people ask me about the makeup looks I create, and I try to answer them, but it's always easier if you can show them what you are doing. So maybe I will try and have like more makeup videos up as well, because a lot of people seem to be interested in that, and it's something that I just really enjoy doing. Anyhow, now I'm really gonna round up. I'm gonna see who called and call them back. And yeah, have fun with your evening, everyone. I hope you're all having a lovely weekend. I will see you tomorrow for my next live stream. I think I'm gonna keep the same time as today. I will be posting about it on my Instagram. So if you don't follow my Instagram yet, it is Orphea333, the same way it's spelled here. And I always post in my stories that I'm going live, and I always ask like, is it something you're interested in? Yes or no? And if I can, I will ask you what you want me to do during the live stream. So today, the Q&A one. So yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing evening, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. And otherwise, just have an amazing weekend. Bye bye.